Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good weekend. I don't know when you're watching this or when you're listening to it, but I want to say good whatever it is to you right now. For me, today is Tuesday, and I'm on the road once again. It feels like the story of our lives. We got a couple of podcasts inside of the office, and now we're back on the road. This is when we can get it done. And a simple lesson here is this is what I would encourage you to do. If you've said that you're going to start a podcast, you're going to start doing weekly videos, you're going to go live, you're going to post to your stories, whatever it may be, like take the time that is available to you that you would normally be maybe just listening to the radio or stressing or whatever you do during that time. Don't take your eyes off the road, as I do not. The only time you will see me referencing the camera is if I'm stopped. Otherwise, I just have it set up and it is going. But today we are en route. We are doing a content shoot for an ads client. So that is where we are headed today. But yeah, take the time and record these things. If you're wanting to create content, then take the time that you have available to do that. There's never going to be like the perfect time. You can put it on your calendar. Maybe once you get used to it and you start to see, oh, I have this block of time and I could do it in the office and with a better setup or whatever, then great, do that. But in the beginning, just get it done when you can get it done. I think it just makes sense and it helps you accomplish what you're wanting to accomplish. So, as I've expressed in previous podcasts, you know what, let me back up just a little bit. Maybe you're brand new, you have no idea who I am, what we do, how I even have the authority or knowledge to speak on the things that we're about to speak about. So a little bit of context. My name is DJ Shirley. My wife and I own and operate a company called Speak Loud Group. It is a full-service marketing and advertising agency. We serve clients from just about any industry that you could possibly name. Either they are on our active roster or we have done projects for them in the past. We just celebrated our 5th year as Speak Loud Group and being in existence, and we're super excited. We have serviced hundreds of clients at this point. We have spent millions of dollars in ad spend across Meta, Google, TikTok, YouTube, which is also Google. So we have some experience when we talk about ads, advertising, marketing. We have experience from manufacturing to retail to B2B. Pretty much there's not an industry that we have not touched. We've been asked that question before, why not specialize in a specific industry or field? And to us, the statement I always make is, marketing and advertising is marketing and advertising across the board. Is the messaging different? Is the product or the service, the positioning, the language, the copy, does that change? Absolutely. It changes from B2B to B2C. It changes from home services to manufacturing. Absolutely. But the principle of how you market and how you advertise really does not change. You have something that people need and or want, and you have to let them know that you have it, and you have to let them know why they should use you to solve their problem. That's marketing and advertising in the smallest nutshell I could possibly put it in. The other side of our business, the most recent side of our business as of this year, is Amplified Equity. We decided to open up the door to business coaching, and we were already doing it. As part of being a client with us, there was already a measure of consulting and coaching that was happening, but we wanted to open that door up. It was a big part of my life for several years before I went in and opened this agency. I worked as a business development coach, consultant in the construction space. My job was to open offices, scale offices, fix processes and procedures, recruit, hire, train. And so we took that and started layering it into what we do and have started offering that, and have picked up several clients that need us for that side. They may have marketing and advertising taken care of in a certain degree. They may have someone doing it. They may have staff doing it. They may have a process for hiring. They may have a process for training. They might have a great business plan. But something has them stuck. They're wanting to go from point A to point B, but they're not really sure where those things intersect or where those dots connect or where the pieces might be broken or misaligned. And sometimes bringing someone in from the outside, we can see things from a different perspective. We can take a look at systems and processes and training and advertising and marketing and staffing and start really pulling at those things to determine where is the weak spot or what ultimately is a constraint that is holding your business back. And so that is what we do. Marketing and advertising, it looks like marketing and advertising. We do a consultation, we build creative, we run targeted ads, we build landing pages, we build automations. Coaching consulting looks like a sit down, deep dive into your business, usually across a couple of days, to where we learn every facet of your business from point A to point B to point Z, everything in between, to where we can make some decisions on what exactly are the broken pieces or the misaligned pieces or people or staff, and then we're going to make a recommendation and provide a blueprint back to you to execute those things. And it may look like staffing, it may look like systems and processes, it may look like applications and software, it could look like a lot of different things for a lot of different businesses. Beyond that, we offer ongoing. If you want us to be along with you for the journey, to help implement those things, to train those new people, to recruit that new staff, then we offer that as well. If you need ongoing training for the different pieces of your business, marketing and advertising, sales, business development, whatever it may be, we offer that as well with our coaching and consulting. So we're just having an awesome time. But I wanted to provide that because you might be brand new. You might have no idea who I am and why I am giving you all this information. I will also tell you that anything that I present on this podcast, and many of you, if you're watching, again, you've heard me say this, I do not present anything that has not been tried and tested and proven true. If I ever present something, let's take AI as an example. If I have heard something about a new AI platform that I have not tested this thing thoroughly and determined that it is a viable option, it is something that you should also go check, I'm going to let you know that. I'm going to be like, hey, we haven't really tested this thing out, but we're hearing great things about this platform or that platform or this CRM or this calendar system or whatever it may be. I will let you know those things. But 95% of the time, there are no assumptions. It is something that we have tried, we have tested, and we know it to be true. And if you were to try it and test it inside of your business, it would work as well. So all of that, we got that out of the way. Moving into what we're actually going to talk about today. This was the result of a coaching and consulting client over the last couple of weeks that we were looking at specifically their marketing and advertising. That is what we deemed and determined was their biggest constraint and the thing that needed to be addressed first. They were dealing with a flow problem. They did not have a consistent flow of leads, of inquiries, of traffic. They just did not have enough eyeballs on their business to make a substantial impact. Their business is doing well, but it was not predictable, and being unpredictable can often prove difficult to scale. So there are a few things in their business we'll be working on. It'll probably prove to be future videos that we'll be able to talk about it as well. But in particular, we were talking about their marketing and advertising, which is obviously something that we are very versed in and something that we do every day inside of our agency. Lo and behold, we actually did not recommend that they hire us as an agency. We felt, and that would be some people's first question, well, of course you're going to recommend. Not always. In this case, they have the staff and the team to be able to handle it internally. With the right coaching and kind of mentorship or guidance or training, they could handle it in-house without having the additional expense. At a certain point, will they likely want to outsource or maybe ramp up that team? Sure. But let's dive into it. I'm going to give you the 3 things that we recommended to them that they should implement on day 1. What they should start building out and put in place in terms of marketing and advertising. And this will ring true for most businesses, regardless of where they're located, what they do, if they are B2C or B2B. This applies across the board and is typically our first rollout for any new client that is looking to acquire new business. So number 1 is we wanted to create a top of funnel ad. So what is a top of funnel ad? Top of funnel ad means that if you were to look at your flow of customers or potential customers, you have a box at the very top of the funnel that is unaware. They do not know that your business exists. It is your broadest audience. If you are a local service provider or a local retail store, then it's say your location plus 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles, depending on your ad spend budget, and ultimately who you're trying to reach. That is your broadest net, is you are doing a level of branding across the board to let people know that your business exists. And what this accomplishes is the number one, in my opinion, killer of most small and medium-sized businesses, which is obscurity or lack of knowledge. People just don't know you exist. They don't know your brand. They don't know your store. They don't know your story. They don't know what you do, period. They don't have any knowledge of you. And so what we want to accomplish with that top of funnel campaign is introducing that community to your business. This could be accomplished via video. This can be accomplished with static graphics. Our usual recommendation is do not pick one or the other, do both and determine, are we getting better traction with the video version, or are we getting better traction with the static version? Or are they both performing well? Then awesome, let's keep both of them running. But that is what we recommended for this business, is we said, look, you need to create a series of videos. We helped, our agreement with them was to help them and to train them and to coach them beyond just the initial blueprint. So we developed scripting for these different videos. We had 6 different videos. They were all about 30, 35 seconds long. And it was introducing their business and their solution that they provided to their local community. Those videos were shot. We also suggested and wrote up kind of descriptions for 6 different static graphics that would accompany, essentially saying the same things as the videos, but doing it in just a graphic format. That way we could test that and ensure that it was going to go well. Now, what we did is we ran that as kind of a branding campaign. So there was no real objective attached to it. There was no lead form, is what I'm getting at. We were not saying fill out this lead form or click this button to call us or anything like that. The only call to action that we had on it was a link back to their website that said, learn more. If you'd like to learn more about what we do, then click this link. And we were directing them to a very specific kind of about us or services page on their website, which we would also recommend testing. See where you drop them and see if the conversions go up or down. Now, on to 2, I said there was 3 things. On to step 2, we installed what is called the Meta Pixel or Facebook Pixel. It is a piece of code that is installed onto your website, and what it essentially does is it detects traffic. And it's similar, if any of you have Google Analytics or anything like that, it's similar to that. A lot of you have base analytics built into your website where you can go see like, oh, traffic's up or traffic's down, or more people go to this page than that page. Some of you even have like sources to where you can see like, oh, this came from a Google search or this came from Facebook. We specifically wanted to be able to get the data from it. And I'm going to dive into that. What is the Pixel doing in terms of data? So when someone clicked on that top of funnel ad that was like, hey, if you want to learn more about what we do, click here. Then they would click, they go over to the website. The Pixel essentially kind of pings. It gets a piece of data and it goes, oh, this person just visited your website. It doesn't necessarily get their name and address, things like that, but it gets some of that metadata. It can tell you that this person visited, they live in kind of this region or this area, and there was a live person that visited your website, and it gathers a piece of data. And through the wizardry of the Pixel and the internet, we are then able to go back to that pixel inside of Meta, and we're able to say like, hey, let's create a couple of audiences off of this. So just like the top of funnel, I mentioned to you that the top of funnel was broad, like the targeting was like their location plus, let's say 15 miles. Now we're creating another audience that we're saying, hey, take this data from the pixel and we want to group all of those people together. So everyone that has visited the website and made this little kind of pixel go off, we want to build an audience and we want to name it website traffic. And now we have this custom built audience that we know these people have visited their website. Another step further that we can take is with that same piece of data, we can create a separate audience that says, hey, all of this information that you have on these people, we want you to create what's called a lookalike audience, which is just if person A visited your website, we're telling it to go find person B based on a level of matching. So what level of matching? It would be location, it could be their interest, it could be their shopping behaviors, it could be a laundry list of things. What I usually like to tell people, and the easiest way to explain it is you can choose the percentage of match that you want this audience to be built on. It can be 1%, it could be 3%, it could be out to 10%. Once you start getting out into that 10 or 15% mark, you're getting pretty broad. Like they might live in the same area, that's maybe about it. They might both shop at Target, and that would be about it. But when you get down to a 1% match, if you, listening or watching this podcast, were to meet or talk to your 1% match, the expression I use is that you would either be best friends or worst enemies, because you'd be so alike. Some of you get along with people that are just like you. Some of you would not get along with people who are just like you. They would drive you crazy, and you'd go, I don't know why this person drives me crazy. Because they're you. Because they're you. That's why. But that's what we would do. And that was the second layer of this, is we installed the pixel onto their website, so that way we could see the traffic that we were sending there from the initial ad. And then the route we went is we did not create a secondary audience yet. We just said, hey, here is data on the people visiting the website. What does someone visiting your website from an ad tell us about them? It tells me that there was something that that drew their interest enough to make them want to go to your website. So what just happened is, like we talked about the funnel, is like you just moved down a step in the funnel with that person. So top of funnel was like they're completely unaware. They might be interested, they might not be interested. We just simply do not know if they are a potential customer client of ours or not. But as soon as that click happens, when they go click over to your website, you just move down a level. Now you move them from like unaware to interested. So now you have a warmer prospect that you have this pixel detecting. So then when we build that audience and we go, hey, new audience, which is pixel data, people that have visited my website, remember we named it that, website traffic. Now I'm building a secondary campaign, and my targeting is no longer location plus 15 miles. My targeting is my website traffic. Because if they went to my website, but then they have not called me or filled out my lead form or booked my service or stopped in my store, then I need to go a step further. I need to provide them. This goes back to like our mentality on sales. Like if I didn't close a sale, there was something that I missed. Either I didn't build enough value, I didn't explain it well enough, I didn't overcome all of their objections, there's something missing, or they would have moved forward. So let me now build this campaign to where we are retargeting them, is what we call it. And what you may have heard that term before is like, what is retargeting? It's exactly that. If you have ever been to bestbuy.com and you were looking at a new Samsung TV, if you don't like Samsung, pick your own brand and keep moving forward. Let's not get stuck in the weeds. But you were looking at a new TV and you were just kind of browsing, you're wanting to see if they offered shipping or if it was available in the store or whatever your reason was. But then you go over to Instagram or Facebook later that day and like, lo and behold, here is this same TV I was looking at, and I'm seeing an ad for it, and oh, they're offering me free shipping over here. Maybe they're offering me a little bit of a discount or a home audio bundle if I purchase it right now. Like they have now retargeted me. It was not by chance that you just happened to see that ad pop up in your feed. And I use TVs. Y'all can use whatever you want. It could be grown man toys, it could be shoes, it could be purses, it could be anything and everything. You've all had it happen before, and you went like, oh wow. And a lot of you, they got you. You clicked on that link, you're like, I'll take the free surround sound, I just got a heck of a deal. And all that happened was they detected that you were on their website, and they put an ad back in front of you to try to move you along. So now we built out a campaign for top of funnel, unaware, people that had no clue their business even existed. We've built out a campaign that is now re-engaging them, retargeting them, whatever terminology you want to put on it. And then the third campaign that we built out for them was the secondary audience. Now we want to target people who look like the website traffic. These were our top 3 right out of the box moves for this client. And when I say this could work for any business, it just works. You have to look at your audience segments the exact same. Is if I'm looking at it and going, okay, who are my audience members? Like, you know, if I have to throw a net out in a certain radius around my business, like let's label them. Well, there's people that don't know anything about my business. And if you think that doesn't exist, if you think that you have oversaturated your market and everyone knows you, I guarantee you, I'd be willing to bet you're wrong. Because there are new people that move there just because you have the greatest branding in the world. Maybe you've been in business for 30 years and like everybody knows. That's not necessarily true. There are new people that move to town. There are new needs that arise that they never even really looked or kind of paid attention to before. And then now all of a sudden they need carpet or an HVAC guy, or they're wanting to look for some new widget because they're looking for a B2B solution for their business. You have not reached everybody. So to be able to build out this audience of like unaware accomplishes the first kind of objective, is that we are now letting as many people know as our ad spend will allow every single month that we exist and we are here to serve them, and this is the solution that we provide. Moving to step 2, what do I do now? How do I move them from they're aware now, but I want them to move to interested? Well, the first campaign is going to continue to take care of that. It's going to keep delivering that ad to people who have not engaged with you, have not visited your website, have not taken any action or booked an appointment or asked for a quote or whatever it may be that your business does. But then the second layer is taking website traffic, and these are the people that you would have never even known that they visited your website. You can go look at your website traffic, and some of us do this, and you look and you're like, oh my gosh, 2,000 visitors last month. Like, I sure didn't have 2,000 sales last month, so what's going on? Well, your answer to that question is, I don't know, because you don't have anything going on in the background to stay on top of that or to do anything about it. But with this pixel campaign, we now can. We have traffic going to the website. We're pushing traffic there as well as their organic traffic that just happens to go there from Google or wherever else. But now we're re-engaging them. Is we're saying like, hey, I know you were just on my website. And you've probably seen that before, like, hey, you left this in your cart, why don't you come and we'll give you free shipping. Some of them even get that direct, which you can also do with the Pixel if you have the right code and things installed. Those are called events. If you want to go research some of that, we may talk about that on another episode. But now I have built out this campaign where like you visited my website, and now I'm putting my business back in front of you. I'm staying top of mind with you. If your sales cycle is longer than, let's say, right now kind of purchase, if it's one of those things that most of your customers need to think about, save for, they don't need you today, but they like, to use tires as an example. We have a tire client, and so that comes up a lot, is they don't need tires today. They might need tires in 2 months or 3 months or 6 months or 8 months. So we want to stay in front of them. Like, we want to continue to keep the brand in front of them. And that's what those two campaigns do. And so you have just checked a box of, not only have I created this, I've taken unaware out of the equation. People are aware that I exist. Now I've accomplished like this nurturing kind of sequence where I'm going to continue to stay in front of them based on traffic and engagement on my ad itself. But then the next one that you're doing is like you're finding more pockets of people that have similar behaviors to the ones that you've been reaching. So now you're checking this box. And here's the fourth. This is a bonus that we're going to be layering in, is we are layering in a lead generation campaign that will be a lead form directly on Meta for this business. That one will also be targeting the website traffic and lookalike audience, because some people need a nudge. It may not just be the nudge of like, oh, they're popping back up in my feed and I do need to book that or call them or get a quote. Some of them need that extra nudge in terms of like, oh, I'm getting a good deal. They offered me a discount. They offered me early bird pricing. They're doing a local homeowner special, so I want to take advantage of that. They're offering a no-cost consultation. Whatever it may be that you put out there, that's the fourth. That's kind of your bonus. I wasn't planning on kind of sharing that one. That was going to be separate, but there it is we're going to be generating. So those are three. We launched all three of those from in the very beginning. Their website traffic in 10 days is up like 80%. Now you may go, well, of course you're paying for it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If they now have traffic and they have people showing up to their website that normally would not be showing up to their website, we are accomplishing the goal. We now know that there are people that are now aware of their business and what they do that were not yesterday and the day before. And what they have already seen already, we do not even have a phone call objective set up with this, but their phone calls are up 25% in the last 10 days. And you may go, well, that could be an anomaly. And it could be. You're absolutely right. We're going to keep watching that and keep measuring that and determining, like, is that effective and is that working? But something happened, and the only thing that happened was as we wrote up this plan for them, they executed this plan. They are running ads now to where they are bringing people into the aware side of their funnel, where now people know that they exist. They're creating opportunities for themselves. And so this is something that is low-hanging fruit and that is available to you. And whether it is you needing us to do it, where you call and go, hey, I watched that podcast and like all of that, I want that, but I don't have time to mess with it or do it. We get that. That's why we exist. You also maybe, I don't have the funds to like hire an in-house person to do that, or I have one and they're not doing well. That's why we exist. But if this is something that you do have the team to do, you do have the technical knowledge to be able to do it and to build these things out, then you go do it. That's why we do these podcasts. We're giving you information that we hope is helpful and that you can implement in your business as soon as you're done watching this. If you need help with it and you're like, we have the team, but we still want the coaching, kind of like I was saying with this current client, we are not actually executing any of the work. We are writing the plan and then giving the plan to the team. We have no problem doing that as well. If anything, it's technically less work for us. It kind of talks us out of future money. If you were a client, you would be a client with us. Whereas this is like a one-time thing. They're different because they're going to continue paying us because we've just started with them. we have tackled one thing in their marketing and advertising to start generating these leads. But then what happens next is like we will have a production problem or a fulfillment problem that we've got to make sure that we're staying in front of. But I hope that this is helpful. And what I truly hope is like all of these things can be encouraging and exciting. But if you do not take them and then do something with them, then you wasted, 26 minutes of your life listening or watching this podcast. What I genuinely hope, and I get messages from some of you, so I know that some of you are doing it, is that you will take this information and you will go apply it. Even if it is like the base level of it, even if you're like, we're going to release a branding campaign. We're going to take people from unaware to aware. We know that that will move the needle for us because we know that there are just so many people. My daughter works at a boutique and she says regularly there are people that come in, and we've heard it from the owner as well. We have people come in all the time that were like, oh my gosh, how long have you guys been here? And they're like, I don't know, years? Well, I've lived here for 20 years. I didn't know. Like, that's it. Like, there are people all around you that are unaware of what you do, and they can't call you, they can't visit you if they don't know that you exist. So if anything, launch a branding campaign, an engagement, a reach campaign, because it's the lowest hanging fruit and it's the least expensive in terms of cost of ad spend. So I would encourage you to at least go that route. At least go launch yourself a branding a campaign that will reach people and let people know that you exist and what you do. I would build the whole thing out though, because it's a complete puzzle at that point. Like, now you not only have unaware to aware, now you have like interested to warm, like they want to buy, or they're interested, or they have questions, or they want to quote, or they want to talk to you. That's what's moving them down this line. And again, this was like the first 3 steps of what we're writing out for them. We will now be moving towards some level of automation that can do some response for them, that can reach out to these people, that can touch base with them, and it takes some of that responsibility away. And that gets more into like coaching consulting side. Obviously we can manage it too, and there may be a hybrid of that. They may want us to actually physically build out some of the automation and do some of those things if they're not capable, and great, we can come in and do project work for them. But in the beginning, we're just helping them develop the plan. We're taking our brain, giving them a piece of our brain, and letting them use it inside of their business. So I hope that what I just shared with you is helpful, and I hope that you will take that and go implement it. If you're looking at how do I navigate marketing and advertising, this was like a 101 into diving into ads and implementing something in your business that can gain real traction and make some movement and move a needle for you inside of your business. So I hope you use it. And if, again, wherever you're watching at, please please subscribe. We'd love to have more and more people. Leave us a review if you're listening to audio, if it's on Apple or it's Spotify. Helps us get this podcast in front of more people so that hopefully they can learn too and they can go implement some of these things too. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next one.